Hello dear friends, I'm Samuel Moore and welcome to this week's video lesson. As many of you know, I recently published my third flamenco guitar tutorial book, Flamenco Guitar, Compa Essentials, Bulerías. This book and the series it's part of helps you unlock the spontaneous nature of flamenco performance. You can find out more about the book, as well as order a copy via the link in the description below. Since the book came out a few weeks ago, so many of you have been in touch to say how much you're enjoying working with it and how much it's helping you. And I can't even begin to describe how happy this makes me. With this in mind, and in the spirit of gratitude for all your wonderful comments, I thought today I'd share with you a little bit of bonus material, an idea that's not in the book, but that can be used alongside ideas and concepts that the book teaches you. Specifically, I want to show you a little melodic phrase that can be used when you're playing Bulerías basic compass. The idea I'm going to teach you sounds like this. Here it is again, but with me counting the numbers. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Before we talk about how to use that phrase in the context of your wider playing, let's take a moment just to learn how to play it. In many respects, this is a very simple phrase. The first cycle of compass, the first 12 beats, is essentially a kind of call and response phrase, where on beats 12 and 6 you have a downward strike on the chord A that's muted with the pinky. So it's kind of going 12, and then there's a melody, and then 6, and then there's another melody, which is kind of like a response phrase to the original melody. So when you play that first chord, 12, on beat 1, we then get into picado position, and basically picado is the alternating technique where you're going I, M, and the melody is going to start on the F, and you're going to go F, E, F, G, F, E. And in terms of where that happens in the compass, you're starting on the and of beat 1. So you're basically going to go 12, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, 5. Then, of course, on 6, as I mentioned a moment ago, we do an other downward strike with the index finger, and then you mute the chord straight away. And then we come into this position. So we're back into picado, and the melody is going to go B flat, A, B flat, C sharp, B flat, A. In other words, and again, that starts on the and. So it's basically 6, 7, and 8, and 9, and 10, 11. Put that together and you get this. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's the first cycle of compass, and that is relatively straightforward. The second cycle of compass, however, is the one that throws people. From a chord perspective, it's relatively straightforward. You're starting on a D minor chord, then you move to a C 9 chord, okay, then move to B flat, and finally finish on A. The thing that makes it difficult is how long you stay on the C chord for, because essentially we're going to do a number of fancy things with this hand and move chords partway through. Let's just unpack it in the context of actually learning how to do the right hand ideas. So what's going to happen is we're going to start by coming into this position with the right hand, with the pinky extended, and you're going to go down, 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 up. It's that rasgueado that's 4 notes. Da-ga, da-ga. Down, 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 up. And then you're finishing with a down strike. down, 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 up, down. And as soon as you do that down strike, mute the strings with the palm of your hand. So it's down, 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 up, down, mute. Then the pattern again, down, 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 up, down, mute. Now, that is happening on the D chord and the C chord. C9, I should say. So it's going to go D, down, 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 up, down, rest, then change chord to C9, down, 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 up, down, rest. Now this is the bit that throws people. You have to stay on the C chord. You're going to do a down strike with the index finger and then mute straight away. Then change chord to B flat and do the same thing again with the right hand. And then change chord to the A and do the same thing again with the right hand. All of that together gives you this. If I do that with the numbers, that would give you 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And on beat 11, if you want to, you can tap the body of the guitar just to mark time. Like I said, the thing that's going to get you is remembering to stay on the C9 chord, because your instinct will want to move instantly to the B flat, and you mustn't do that. You've got to stay on that C. Put all this together and you get this. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there you have it, a very simple Bulerías phrase. Now, you might be thinking at this point, as with many of the ideas I've shown you in the free videos on YouTube over the past few months, well, that's a great phrase, Sam, but what's the point of it? Well, I'm not going to teach you what I'm about to show you, but I do want to impart to you an important concept, an idea that is one of the main subjects covered in my new book. When you're playing a palo like Bulerías, compass phrases are essentially the core rhythmic ideas that you keep coming back to in between other structural components such as falsettas and llamadas. The phrase that a lot of people gravitate towards when they're playing Bulerías basic compass sounds like this. Now, that's a perfectly good Bulerías basic compass phrase. The problem is that if that's the only one you know, and whenever you're required to play the basic compass you simply loop round and around that, it's going to get very boring very quickly. You need to have variety in your playing. That's where phrases like the one I've just taught you comes into play. You can drop that sort of idea into your basic compass playing to add more interest to what you're doing. To demonstrate this, I'm going to play the basic Bulería compass I played a moment ago. I'm then going to drop in the idea you learnt at the start of this video, and then I'll conclude by reverting back to the basic compass phrase. In other words, you see what I'm getting at? It's a very simple change, but already our compass playing is starting to sound a bit more varied and interesting and sophisticated. This goes right to the heart of one of the main subjects of my new book. Essentially, if you have lots of phrases like the one you've just learnt, you can start to make your basic compass playing for Bulerías more varied and interesting. But imagine this. Imagine you don't just have ideas like the one I just taught you. Imagine you've got many ideas that can be quite expansive, like the one you've just learned, that go over multiple compass cycles, or more simple ones that are used to embellish the classic compass phrase. imagine you're able to use all these ideas at will when you're performing the Bulerías basic compass. Imagine how interesting and sophisticated your playing would be. That is one of the big subjects my book covers. You're taught how to do that, and in addition to that, you're also taught how to integrate Bulerías basic compass playing alongside other performance components such as falsettas and llamadas. In short, by the end of the book, you will be able to improvise your own Bulerías solos. If all this sounds good to you, and if you haven't done so already, I warmly invite you to follow the link in the description below and treat yourself to a copy of my new book today. I hope you enjoyed this bonus bit of language I taught you today, which isn't in the book, but it can be used with ideas that are in the book. And I leave everything that you've just learnt in your capable hands.